And that's one of the complaints this couple will talk about is like, oh, the boat was so crowded. We were shoulder to shoulder trying to get dinner. They missed our reservation. And it's like, reservation? Yeah, you have to sign a sheet for the time slot you want to eat dinner. And it's like, what? I don't know. I just, and what was even worse was this couple that I'm talking about met another couple that do the same thing. And you know what the couple that I'm talking about do when you ask them about cruises? They talk about this couple, but they don't talk about them in positive light. They complain about them. How's cruising been? Boring fucking story. Oh, and Charles, Jesus Christ. Charles does not stop complaining. He wanted grated cheese with his pasta. He asked for grated cheese. They said no grated cheese. We only have, you know, sliced provolone. And he gets mad. And he can't handle it. And then they didn't toast his garlic bread. And he was really upset about that. It's like, Charles, everything's meticulous. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you're complaining about garlic bread. You're complaining about a loaf of fucking bread with butter and garlic on it. You spent $6,000 to complain about this. Time to throw Charles overboard. Cruise ships are, I don't know. I've been talking about this for like a half hour. At this point, people don't care anymore. I'm going to conclude it with this. Cruise ships are, well, where the fuck is your comment? The theory of a cruise is way better than the reality. That's how I'm ending that. I don't know. I don't know. Just tuned in. Can you start? Oh my God. No. Hell no. What's up, ladies? How are you? I don't know. What are other dumb things that people do? That oh, chat, did I tell you my story about my plane? Did I guys tell you my story about how I got yelled at by a steward on my plane? Maybe I'll save that story for another day if I didn't. What are other things that people do that, like, in reality are amazing, but no, I didn't. Oh, fuck. Maybe I should tell this story. Okay. Fuck it. Fine. I need to pull up a photo for this. I need to yo, Finbar, what's going on? How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I gotta pull up a photo. I grab this photo. It's important for the story. Okay. Finbar, how you doing? How was your Thanksgiving if you're in the States? I'm going to show you guys a photo, and then I'm going to tell the story, okay? I'm going to give you no context. I'm just going to show you this photo, and you're going to hear me out, all right? Ready? Everybody take note. Everybody got it? All we know is that you rizzed up a British girl. Yeah. That was on the other plane, though. That was my connection flight. Everybody got it? You got the mental image? Okay. We're good. Story time. So, I took a flight to New York, enjoyed my time, and the other day I was flying home. And during my flight home, I flew, it was a 2-hour flight, and I can't find directs back here. So I usually have to fly into one of the neighboring airports, either Charlotte or like Atlanta or Chattanooga or one of the airports within the vicinity of Knoxville. Why? Because it's Knoxville. And you can't find directs in or out of Knoxville. It just doesn't happen. And if you do, you are a dime a dozen, because I've never flown and made it out without making a connection. So I decided to upgrade my seat. I wanted to upgrade my seat. I was excited to upgrade my seat. I'm like, fuck it. I want more leg space. So, I bought a seat. I wanted a window seat and I wanted more leg space. So I did it. Now, when I travel with a carry-on and a personal item. I do not check a bag. If I can avoid checking a bag, so help me God, I want to avoid checking a bag. It's one less thing to go wrong, and my time to bullshit ratio is a thinner line. Not a thinner line, excuse me, a thicker line when I can just have my shit with me at all times. So I got a little late to my plane. We hit some traffic. And I walked up and I had the upgraded seat, and you know how they call, like, you know, first class, and then they call whatever, and then main and economy and whatever the fuck, right? So I got on a plane and I looked and there was no fucking storage. So I'm like, okay. So I threw my bag or my carry-on up in the overhead bin, and I sit down, and now I have a backpack between my legs, because there's no seat in front of me. You guys remember that photo? No seat in front of me. Very important detail. Very important detail. So I didn't hide the bag because I knew I've never been in a seat like that where, like, I didn't know how to handle it, but I figured I didn't want to create a problem if there wasn't one to begin with. So my bag was literally on that wall for takeoff. It is required that you stow your bags away. Okay. I figured I had a lot of extra leg room. I didn't know if that was okay because I had upgraded my seat, and the spacing where it was at I thought was okay. The reason I thought this was okay was because we took off. Right? We took off. No one said shit. I had it next to me. I had it next to my legs the whole time. No overhead. There was overhead. There was no space in the overhead. The plane was booked. By the time I got through, they were checking people's bags at the gate because there were too many people, too many bags. So I could not find space on this plane. I was able to get my roller bag up, but I did not get my backpack. So I am now sitting with my backpack in front of me. Hour and like a half. I have people walking by. I have stewardesses and stewards walking by. No one is saying a word. Okay, great. Pilot gets on the speaker and goes, "We're gonna do a last call run for garbage and stuff." Okay. So the upgraded seat I got is the first row in the step above, or I guess the step below technically, from first class. So that wall that you see in that photo is the split between first class and the next upgraded seat row. So what the stewardesses do is they'll have somebody in first class collect garbage and make the run, and that wall is their stop point, and there is a person that sits on the next wall for like my line for garbage. So the stewardess is now standing there, and she looks over at me and she goes, "Sir, stow your bag away. We're coming in for landing." Now, I didn't really like hear her. I heard what she said, but I didn't think she was talking to me because I figured no one has said shit from takeoff to this point. I didn't think she was talking to me. And she looked at me and she goes, "Sir, stow your bag away." And I looked up and I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I didn't realize you were talking to me. There's no space on the overheads. What would you like me to do?" Right? I'm not giving, I was very respectful. I'm like, "What would you like me to do?" What does she say? What does she fucking say? What do we think the first line is that she's gonna say to me? Any takers, any guessers? I'll save you the trouble. She says, "Stow the bag in the seat in front of you." She's now looking at me. Now, I have to look at this lady. For anyone who doesn't fly often, it is federal regulation that I have to listen to these people within reason. So I have to look at this lady now and point, and I had to tell her there's no seat in front of me. I said, I need help stowing my bag away for landing. No one said anything for takeoff. Otherwise, I would have done something to put this away. But I need assistance to put my bag away then, because there's no space in the overheads. They said that when we got on the plane. What do you think her response was next? Because if you thought that one was bad, the next thing she said was, then figure it out. And then she walked away. Now again, I'm a petty bitch. I'm a real petty motherfucker. But it is required that the person on the plane has to listen to these people. It is federal regulation to comply with what staff says on the plane. It's regulation. Now, that's okay. Because your boy's a petty fuck and was really not feeling in the fucking mood. So she walks away to go collect garbage up the line because they're now coming in dangerously close for landing. The seatbelt sign is now on. So I now need to have a seatbelt on per federal regulation. Okay? Are we following right now? I'm told now I need to figure out a way to stow my bag, but I'm also required to sit down in my seat. So what do? I listen to the direct order I was given. I stand in the middle of the fucking aisle while the plane is like this, coming in for a landing. And the first class lady who's collecting garbage, remember I mentioned that she's there. She looks at me and she goes, "Sir, you need to sit down." Now I have conflicting information. One lady told me that I needed to stow my bag away and that I needed to figure it out. The first class lady is now telling me to sit down. So I looked at her and I said, I'm simply following instructions based on the other lady. And she said, what would those be? You need to have a seatbelt on. It's regulation. And I looked up and I told her the story. I'm not going to repeat it all, but I told her the story. And she's like, there has to be overhead bin access. I said, they literally announced there's no overhead bin access and then didn't say shit. That was it. So she was like trying to figure out what to do. We are now like 5 minutes from touching ground. Not even. We're like 3 minutes from touching ground. I am holding onto that little wall, avoiding from falling. She grabs my bag. She puts it in like an employee storage or whatever. And she said, come to me when you deboard. So I sit back down and I grab my bag and story's over. But I have never had such a stupid experience on a plane before. I felt real dumb. But I also didn't care that I made myself look like a fool on this plane, because that was possibly one of the most dumbest experiences I've ever had. 20,000 feet in the fucking air. This should have been addressed before takeoff. And now that we're 20,000 feet in the air and I'm supposed to figure it out, part of me was wondering, I was like, what if I just said no? What if I just looked up and I said no? I don't fucking know. What's up, Kiwi? How you doing? So, such a stupid experience. I was like, this is amazing. This is incredible. I couldn't help but laugh, but yeah, that was that's my story about my plane. And somebody asked, someone said, I assume American Airlines. I'm not going to say who it was. But I'll say this much. It wasn't American. And it's from a flight that is, I would say, pretty renownedly reputable. But I'm not saying who. We're just 500 people. Come on, Chris. Yeah, I know. You know what? You're right. I should give you guys my social while I'm at it too. You're on a roll. But yeah, I haven't had a lot of dumb experiences on planes. That one actually had me fucking baffled. I couldn't help when she said figure it out and walked away. I could not help but laugh. And I know the guy next to me was pissed because I was in a window seat. He was so like fed up with the idea of it. I could not help but laugh. So I was smiling. I stood in the middle of the aisle, nearly falling over, and just, I don't know. Stewards probably just had a bad day. Well, what was a bad day was Karen Tombstone came in, and your boy got some some fucking miles for it because I complained. I complained. I said, I'm not mad. I said, but this was really dumb. This was dumb. And the reason to kind of conclude why I think it was dumb is because I bring up the federal regulation part pretty often in that story because we are required to some degree within reason obey to what these people say. We have to. If we don't, when you get off the plane, you get these really shiny things that go on your wrist. So, or you get fined. So I decided to just make my complaint and get some miles for it because, you know, my point was, if I need assistance to, you know, do what I'm being told and I do not have the tools at my disposal to do that, i.e. space in the overhead or a seat in front of me to stow my bag away, and we are now 20,000 feet in the air and no one said anything for takeoff, now what? So yeah, I got a couple miles for that. Nothing that'll actually get me a free ticket, because God forbid why. But yeah, I mean that's not even your fault. Yeah, it's not. I just thought it was really funny. Good story to share. Good stream story. She was probably just having a bad day, but at the same time, it's like, at the minimum, if you want me to do something and I need your assistance, don't walk away from me. Just basic customer service, yeah. Yeah, no. I actually messaged Asno about it while I was on the plane. I'm like, bro, you want to hear what just happened? I'm like, get this shit. But yeah, not a lot of bad experiences on planes. I don't know. I usually have, surprisingly, one of the best customer service experiences I ever had on a plane was on Spirit. That one surprised me. Out of all of them, Spirit was the big shocker. And everybody hates Spirit, but I tell you what, Spirit really came through. They don't fuck around. They're a pretty bare bones flight, but I got Wi-Fi and they were the nicest people ever. But I guess outside of that, I don't know. Chat, we've been talking for over an hour. I haven't responded to a single call. I've actually just been a Just Chatting streamer driving in circles, and I feel bad, so let's circle back. my eyes. I had a great experience with Aer Lingus on my flight to Ireland. I like Chris chat time. Maybe we should do more like just chatting stuff. I don't know. Shiny bracelets. That's what I'm saying. By the way, guys, if you're new to the stream and haven't been enjoying your stay, hit the follow button. Love to see you come back. Feel bad because I haven't done on a house video you can review. Yeah, fuck it, send it over. Actually, I don't know if I'm in the mood for a house video. You can post it in videos. I'll take a peek real quick. I'll take a gander. Once I basically got a whole comedy show from the steward who did the safety briefing on a Delta flight. Were they just a good personality? There was a guy on this flight, actually, the flight that I'm talking about, the guy that calls, you know, now boarding active military, now boarding first class, right? That guy. This guy was like boarding active, current or previous military. And this guy walked up, one guy, and he goes, "Could we get a clap, please?" And like 2 people clapped, and he goes, "I'm giving that like a 2 out of 10. Y'all could do better." And I was like, this guy's gonna be good. But also making jokes. I love that shit. Oh my God. People who love their job and make it enjoyable for the customer. I mean, I'll listen. I don't give a shit about percentages for tips. I will always over tip well beyond what I should. If I get an amazing experience, you're getting a good tip. Oh yeah, no, Maddie, I am very much in the same boat. If I have somebody who like went above and beyond, I will always, without fail, I will always go above and beyond for them if they went above and beyond for me. I had the sweetest person like in the world at a Waffle House. I told the story a while back about her having a dine and dash at a Waffle House, nonetheless, while I was there, and I felt bad for her. And
Hey Casanova, I have eyes on someone who has a warrant.
What?
Yeah,
oh my God, I forgot I had radio on.
It's Ruffy
So Casanova's on duty? That's crazy.
I stand by.
I'm gonna turn my radio off real quick because I don't know if I'm gonna be around for much longer. But she was so sweet and so nice, and she was like doing everything she could. She was like, "Is there anything you need? Anything you want? I'll get you an extra stack of pancakes." Like, she was just really like nice. And I ended up throwing her like I don't even know. I don't even want to say how much, honestly, but I didn't care. I was like, damn, she's having a shit day, and she went above and beyond. Even sticking to have a smile on her face, I could tell she was definitely like struggling with like her night, but she did everything she could. I tipped her very well because I was like, man, like that is the customer service and customer support that like I want to reciprocate with. The figure it out yourself on a plane 20,000 feet in the fucking air was not good customer service. I know exactly what you're talking about, and my God, I want to go through it. I want to go through it. Oh, man. Dude, my neck is killing me. My everything hurts right now. Maybe we'll sit on the roof for a second. That's not what I wanted. I think they have a restaurant like that in Vegas, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I don't know. Heading out, yo, Megzy, you have a good night. I appreciate it. You take care. Yeah, I really haven't done a fucking thing today, but I'm kind of just enjoying just hanging out and chilling. Hey, what's up, Nikita? How are you? I'm gonna warn you, I probably won't be here much longer because we had Thanksgiving and I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I had to drive 2 hours south, and then I had to drive 2 hours north, and then I didn't sleep and I just hopped on for stream, so it might be another short night for me because of U.S. holiday, but Is this my boy?
This is a $7.1 million home in East